Hola, hola, bienvenidos a todos. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Spanish class. Bienvenidos a la clase de español. More specifically, welcome to Spanish 30 of the 3Y program. Mi nombre es Señorita Enriquez. My name is Miss Enriquez, and I thought I'd put together a little welcome video here to guide you through what the year is going to look like here at Argyle. As I'm sure you already know, the format here looks very, very different than traditional schools. So I thought I'd put together a little video that will guide you through the programs we use, the expectations of the course, the guidelines of the course, all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, the most important thing is to make sure that you're in the right place and that you know which course and which program you're in. And so here at Argyle, I'm actually in charge of all three programs, 3Y, 6Y, 9Y, which means there's a total of 18 courses. So it's actually really, really important that you know which course you're in and what program you're in. And so right now, this is the Spanish 30 language and culture course, and the program is 3 years. So a lot of the time you'll see it as Spanish 33Y. So what does that mean? That means it takes you 3 years to complete this program. First, second, third year usually corresponds with grade 10, 11, and 12. So chances are you're in grade 12 right now. If you're not, that's totally okay. I do have a few younger students and a few older students, so that's totally okay, but that's usually how it goes. And of course, it goes from beginner, intermediate to advanced. So you are in the advanced level. Looking at it a little closer now. Like I said, this is your third and final year of the 3Y program, which means you've had at least 2 full years of formal Spanish education before this. Ideally, you took Spanish 10 3Y and Spanish 23Y. However, you could have taken other courses in other schools with different titles. So if you've done that, make sure you double check with me before continuing. But ideally, you've had 2 full years of formal Spanish education, as well as you've had extensive exposure to Spanish. So either you've studied in a Spanish speaking country, or you've traveled to one recently, or you've simply been taking your Spanish courses, so you're very comfortable with the sounds of the language and the rhythm of the language. Also, if you're in grade 12 and you're planning on using this course to get into a post-secondary institution like the University of Alberta, or any university, actually, Canadian University, Grant MacEwan, things like that, this program, the 3Y program, is hands down the most widely accepted programs of all three of them. So you are in the right place if you want to use this course for your applications. Here's the thing, guys, though, it's really, really important that you're in the right level. So if you don't meet all these requirements, or you're unsure, or maybe you just meet one out of the three, things like that, I need you to absolutely contact me as soon as possible. Drop me an email, give me a quick phone call at the school, or simply drop by the school. I'm more than happy. I'm always happy, actually, to meet my students in person. I rarely get to do that with our online format, but swing by so we can chat a little bit, and I can get to know a little bit more about your background and place you in the correct level. This is very important. Don't be shy or afraid to approach me about this. It's really easy for me to move students around. What's the most important is that you're in the right place. So I set you up for success in throughout the year. So make sure that you do that if you don't meet all these three criteria. If you do, however, let's continue. So what to expect this year? First off, this is a full year course. It was designed, the curriculum was designed to take the entire year to complete. So keeping that in mind, especially if you're in grade 12 and you have other pressing deadlines that you're concerned about, you can always contact me. We can work around it for sure, but just a heads up, the course is intended to be full year. Expect roughly about 3 hours of work each week. Remember, everybody will be working at a different pace, and you are not expected to come to class for 3 hours a week. This is simply the amount of time that you should be putting into your studies every week. Whether in class or doing your worksheets or simply reviewing, you should always be reviewing languages, especially at this level, on a daily basis, right? If you don't, it will show up in your verbal assignments. I'll be able to tell in your compositions, things like that. So definitely putting in roughly about 3 hours of work each week. The steps for the actual class is number one, watch the instructional video, then complete your written assignments, and finally complete your verbal assignments. Now, these instructional videos are very, very, very important. So because I have so many levels and so many students, it's almost impossible to catch them all. They're usually in school full time or working or volunteering or in sports and things like that. So what I've done is taken what I would have instructed in class oh, excuse me. And I've made videos on my own time. That way you can watch these videos on your own time whenever is most convenient for you. So make sure that when you're watching these videos, you don't just flop on your couch and kind of play it in the background. You're going to miss all the important information. When you're watching the videos, pretend that I'm right there instructing them. So take it that seriously as if you were in class. So have a notebook out where you can jot down notes, or a separate tab open on your computer so you can jot down notes as you go along. Also writing down specific questions that you might have for me, or particular areas of the video that you don't understand and you want to discuss with me during our class times. So very, very important that you go through those carefully from beginning until the very, very end. Yes, you definitely don't want to skimp out on those last few minutes of the video. I always put very important information, particularly at the end, so you want to make sure you're watching the entire video. Once you're comfortable with the weekly material, so in these videos I give instructions, we go through grammar, vocab, I go through your assignments, things like that, well, your assignment sheets. So once you're comfortable with that, you can go ahead and start on your written assignments, which are on Google Classroom, and finally your verbal assignments. So those verbal assignments you will have to complete with me, directly with me online, which brings us to the next point. You do need to have a working mic in order to speak in Espanol. Yes, you do have to speak in this course. I know. So a lot of people think that this is a correspondence course, so they can just do their written assignments, submit those, and they'll be good to go. This is false. Very, very much so. This is completely incorrect. It is not a correspondence course. It is an online course. Furthermore, it's also a language course, which means you will have to speak in Spanish online with me. So make sure you have a mic. Most laptops nowadays come with mics in them, or you can buy separate mics and then connect them into your existing computers. It's up to you, but all I need is to be able to hear you speak in Espanol on a weekly basis. You will have written or verbal assignments to complete each week, so you will need a working mic for sure, for sure, for sure. Lastly, like I said, there is no set class time. You do not have to come to class and sit for an hour while I instruct. That's what the instructional videos are for. However, you still do need to come to class every single week. Your attendance requirement is that you check in with me once a week, and you can do so anytime on Mondays from 9 to 10, 11 to 12, or 2 to 4. So those are the times for the 3Y program. You don't need to let me know when you're coming. You can come as much as you want. The least that you can come is once a week. So some students are very keen. They have very little free time, so they come in right at 9 a.m. They complete their task in a few moments. I check them off, and they're good to go. Other students have more time, and they like to practice their Spanish, so they actually come several times throughout the day, every week, which is, again, totally acceptable. Actually, it's quite welcome. I will be there the entire time, so I'm more than happy to help you with whatever you need as much as you need it. So again, watch the instructional video, complete the written assignments, and then come online anytime on Monday between 9 and 10, 11 and 12, and 2 to 4 to complete your verbal assignments. Okay, so that takes care of the format of the course. Next, we're going to look at the 3 programs that we use. So if you took Spanish with me at Argyle in the past, you're probably expecting Moodle. We will not be using Moodle this year. We will be using Google Sites, Google Classroom, and Blackboard, and that's it. So first off, Google Sites, you access it through School Zone. So sign into School Zone, select Apps, and then Sites, and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Then Magically, the internet magic, you will be taken to a place that I'm calling the launching pad, which looks like this. And it literally is the launching pad, the launching place, the starting point for everything that you need in this program. First off, make sure that you're linked to the right one. So make sure it says 3Y here. If it says 6Y or 9Y, you're simply linked to the wrong one. So let me know via email and I will make sure that gets fixed. It's just a little glitch, happens sometimes, so keep an eye out for that. Next is this icon right here, this purple one. That is your Blackboard icon. All you have to do is click into that and it'll take you straight to the Blackboard sessions on Monday for you to complete your assignments, your verbal assignments. A little heads up, it will ask you to sign in using your first and last name. Guys, make sure that you're actually putting your first name and your last name or last initial, because this is the only way I'll be able to see who you are. So as much as I appreciate the nicknames and funny names and things like that, and I will have a good laugh, but if you do that, I will ask you to sign out and sign back in with your proper name, because like I said, it's the only way for me to know who you are. Your second icon right there is Google Classroom. So you click on that, you're taken to the Google Classroom page, and that's where you submit all your written assignments. Next, right here, who is your teacher? Click on that and you'll be taken to a video about me. That's right. So I know in this format, sometimes it's hard to know, to get to know each other more. So a lot of students ask me about my teaching style and my teaching background. So I thought I'd put together a little video so you can see what that's all about, what to expect from me this year, and what I expect from my students as well. And lastly, of course, the welcome video. So you can go back and rewatch it if you need to and review any of the information. I know it can be quite a lot, especially if this is your first time doing an online course. Okay, so looking a little closer to Google Classroom, that's the icon right there. Sometimes the background is green. This is where you hand in all your written assignments and projects. It looks like this. Again, making sure that you're looking to make sure it says Spanish 33Y. Here, instead of students, because this is a teacher view, it will say classwork. So you click on classwork and then you'll see all your units there. Within each unit, you will see your instructional videos, and then of course the attached worksheets or projects. So you go ahead and complete those worksheets right there in Google Classroom. A submit button will pop up and you submit it right then and there. Please don't send it via email or Google Share. Everything will be submitted here. Unless you're having any problems with it, then just let me know and we'll figure it out for sure. Okay, and Blackboard is the last one you need to know. So Blackboard, that's, like I said, where you come to class to complete verbal assignments, ask questions, discuss questions, or if you just simply want to practice your Spanish with me, that works too. So in the past, we use these two icons. So you might see them floating about. If you do, don't worry, they all lead to the same place. We're trying to use this purple one more actually exclusively, so hopefully it's the only one you see. But just in case you see all three of these, don't worry, they all go to the same place, which is Blackboard. All right, so to get started, go to School Zone, sign in with your username and password that you've used with Edmonton Public Schools. It doesn't matter which school, it's all the same username and password. Once you sign in, it will look roughly like this. Remember, this is where you can see your school news, class news, any really important reminders. This is where I will post them. As well, in your student profile or reports, you will find your report cards, your interim marks, updated marks, all that fun stuff. And of course, if you click on apps right there at the top, you will be taken to sites. So you click on sites and there you will be at your launching pad. So School Zone, apps, sites, and you're off and running. Okay, so a little recap. I've said most of this already, but again, steps to take in order to be successful in this course. Number one, make sure to watch the instructional videos first. Super duper important. Number two, complete the corresponding assignments to each instructional video before moving on to the next video and assignments. So like I said, everybody will be working at a different pace. It's very, very important that you work at your own pace and complete the assignments in order. So I'm sure you know this already, but languages courses usually are designed so one concept leads to another. So in your beginner level, we started with the alphabet, then we began piecing together words, then more complex words, then simple sentences and complex sentences, and eventually independent conversations. So if you start jumping around from the alphabet to conversations to sounds, you're going to lose information as you go along. And at the end of the day, you'll just make things a lot more complicated and confusing for yourself. So don't worry about anybody else. Just work at your own pace, following the general deadlines and suggestions that I give throughout the course. And then just make sure that you're completing all the assignments in order. Again, your attendance requirement will be to attend class a minimum of once per week. Yes, this is a requirement. Complete all written assignments on Google Classroom, complete all verbal assignments on Blackboard, and a heads up, make sure to dedicate all of January to the midterm exam and all of June to the final exam. So there are 3 components to each one. I help you through each step of the exams. It's actually a great way to boost your mark and to really kind of summarize everything that you've learned in each semester. However, they are a lot of work to prepare and to schedule. So you want to make sure that you're done all your other assignments before you get started. So finish all of your semester 1 material before January and all of your semester 2 material before June. If you don't, you will still be able to do the exam, but you might run out of time. There's a good chance you'll run out of time, and you will most definitely be overwhelmed. It will be way too much work to get through, and definitely will not be setting yourself up for success, which is why I let my students know in September to plan accordingly. Okay, so now we have a plan. Let's do this. So just like the penguins look really determined, I know one of them looks quite confused, but the rest look determined. So if you're confused and you have any other questions, by all means, just contact me, come to Blackboard, or give me a call at the school. I'm more than happy to help you any other way I can. But if you're good to go, hopefully you're ready to get to work. And so I wish you all the best of luck, buena suerte, as well as éxito en este nuevo curso, success in this new course. All right, guys, like I said, if you need anything, let me know. If not, I look forward to seeing you in class. Gracias. Adios.